Okay, and we're back from a long hiatus due to extremely popular demand, percentage-wise.
Yes. Yeah, it was like, so what was it? I got really sick for 2 months, and then...
Like, super sick.
Yes, and then some other stuff happened, and then a bunch of other stuff happened, but now we're back.
Yeah, and you may have noticed, if, you know, you're actually paying attention, which you're probably not, I started recording stuff with other Ben.
You mean if people have noticed all of the other videos on the channel?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Well, these will be happening pretty much simultaneously. The Bloodborne will be going up less often in general because we have less opportunities to, or more scarce opportunities to record. But you know that could change. It just doesn't happen as often.
Sure.
Whereas I can get together with other Ben pretty much every weekend for the most part. But we'll do probably longer video. Well, I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll figure that out.
Don't make any promises.
Yeah, in general, not gonna do that.
But for this particular episode, I was thinking we'd actually start with a Chalice ritual dungeon.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Because
you need to regain your skills.
That, but also, if you recall, when we talked about doing this, I was like, oh yeah, so there's been some Bloodborne news. And you're like, what? Bloodborne news?
Oh.
So, as you may or may not already know, there's been some Bloodborne news.
I don't remember, because like...
Well, you definitely don't.
Okay.
But the way that worked is... Okay, so first of all, there was the Game Awards show. And during this Game Awards show, this is in, like, December 2017.
Okay.
Like, they had this big counter going down. There was, like, you know, this many minutes until the game until the reward starts.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, like, with, like, you know, 2 minutes to go, they're like, also, we have this new thing from Soft, you know, with this new thing that we're going to show you.
Oh,
and
God.
It was just, like, they played this little clip that was just, like, 10 seconds of a workbench with a weird mechanism on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's all drenched in blood, and then it starts winding up.
Oh, God.
And then you guys, like, you know, that fades out, and then it goes, like, from software. And then that fades out, and it's like, and that's the clip! That's what you get!
Oh, God.
And the people immediately, like, have exploded in speculation, like, is this Bloodborne 2?
Yeah.
What is this? I mean, it seems like no one really knows for sure, like, but people have made pretty compelling cases for it probably being, like, a new Tenchu Self-Assassin game.
Oh my God, I would cry. I would cry. Oh, I forgot that's from Software. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I mean, like, Armored Core.
I would prefer Tenchu, honestly. I mean, the last Tenchu game they made was Tenchu Z, and I mean, that was fun. I remember playing it, but I had so much more fun with Tenchu 3, Wrath of Heaven. But, oh my God, I want to play that game again. Anyway, sorry.
And so that was thing one, was just, like, there was this big, huge speculation about, like, is there going to be a Bloodborne 2? Like, what is From Software's, that was not what I wanted to do.
Like, what, like, just the...
And so that was kind of thing one, was just like, oh yeah, maybe, you know, From Software is definitely working on new things, but, like...
Yeah.
What are these new things looking like?
Yeah, what exactly are they implying?
Right.
And thing two? I'm assuming there's a thing two.
Yes, thing two is in December, there was a big development in Bloodborne cracking. In that they finally figured out the full database, like the file structure of the Databorn disc, or the Bloodborne disc.
It took them that long?
Yeah, because I mean, it's always something weird and proprietary, and like the formats are usually in something that's not usual. And so it kind of was like, okay, well, you know, let's just kind of keep probing at this because we know there's some kind of file structure here, but we don't know what the files are or in what format they are or what anything looks like.
Are they usually encrypted or obfuscated in some manner? Or
presumably,
or compiled.
I mean,
at
they're
least?
usually, at the very least, they're usually optimized to fit on a disk, right? Like that's the usual major issue. Is like,
instead of having like your basic. Oh Jesus God! I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, oh Jesus.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well. I don't remember what any of the buttons actually do. I remember I had a technique for beating this guy.
And it's pretty much non-existent at this point.
Yeah, I just totally don't remember.
I think that was a pretty good technique.
That worked. Okay, so they and the thing is, like, also when they'd gotten the data, like, for a while they could say decode only audio files, but they couldn't decode like any text, like subtitle text or anything like that.
Okay, yeah.
And so there was just like a bunch of different factors involved in figuring out what was actually on the disc. But they got it. I believe it was someone by the name of Zully the Witch who made the tool.
Okay.
And
they decoded it.
They decoded it, and there's some interesting stuff on the disc.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, that explains why it's mostly speculation about a lot of or it's mostly like anecdotal evidence, or
anecdotal
statistical
in what way?
Statistical analysis of like what things are in this game for like Wikipedia or for the wikis. Like, you mean in terms of lore or in terms of like setting? In terms of gameplay mechanics.
Oh, okay. So like, no. I mean, I guess I'm pretty sure you can do the math even just from inspecting gameplay.
Well, okay. But I mean, there's a lot of like hidden value stuff in this.
Kind of.
That isn't directly like gameplay related.
Kind of.
Like how interactions work or time or like enemy placement or what happens.
I mean, enemy placement isn't random though.
No.
So.
Well, I mean, unless you're in the.
Right, but even like each one dungeon will have fixed spawn points.
Well, doesn't it have something that isn't there kind of like a world tendency in this game too?
No.
No, there isn't.
Oh, no, okay. That was like solely
Soul games?
Demon Souls.
Oh, okay. Really? Okay, all right. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, well, just wild speculation. Oh, everyone's favorite dogs.
Whoa.
Yay. Puppies! So, anyway, the decoder...
Yes, and so they decoded all of this text.
Yeah.
And so, like, whoa, one thing that is in there is some cut text that never, like parts of, like, a provisional plot.
Oh.
And so also I should say that this part might get into that's not the right button.
Nope. This part might get into
this part is going to get into spoilers. Like the rest of the series, or this thing we've kind of been. Oh.
Are you talking about this part that we're talking?
Yes, I'm talking about this particular episode.
Okay. Okay.
Is going to talk about some late game plot spoilers that we have not actually gotten to in the playthrough. So if that's not your thing, maybe skip this episode because it's just going to be me going through a Chalice dungeon and talking about this stuff.
That's fair.
Which is part of why I wanted to just do this as a Chalice dungeon.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. So we have the option to skip it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's parts of there's a lot of stuff in there. So one is that there is in development. This is actually speculation on my part, but there's a bunch of data for alternate enemies in Canehurst Castle.
Yeah.
So like unused enemies from that area. There's a different version of the boss of Canehurst Castle, which is either a different version of the Martyr Ligarius boss fight, or a King of Canehurst Castle boss fight, which is interesting because the King of Canehurst Castle is like never mentioned in the game.
Oh.
There's something that might be different text from Annalise, who is, Queen of the Vile Bloods at Canehurst Castle, or it might not be, because, like, all the text in the data dump is, of course, in Japanese because it's not translated. It was ever localized.
And do they don't have the do they I can't remember. Does it tell you who's talking, or does it just say what?
It just
what's
has
being said?
yeah. It doesn't say who's talking. But usually like the text is kind of grouped together, so they can be like, oh, here's all the text for this one NPC.
Yes. Okay.
And here's this stuff next to it, so that's probably their text.
Okay.
So it kind of seems like there might be, or there might like it seems to me that the thing was that Canehurst Castle was the first area in development when they were making this game.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's this guy.
I don't remember.
He's the guy you fight when you go down at the bottom of the well, like in front of the door. It's just this is a big, strong boss version of him.
Oh, yeah, strong boss, definitely. I didn't know the other one could fire.
This one might have new abilities.
Oh.
But he definitely has flame abilities. Then it's just I probably. Oof.
Oh.
Yes. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna try to talk about all this in development hidden content while also fighting a boss.
Yeah, maybe we just let you fight the boss. Given where you haven't played in months at this point.
Yes.
So we'll I'll write this down so we can.
Oh God.
Find it pretty easily. In case we need to make some edits, I don't know. We probably don't.
Well, okay. So the thing is, they have different. So the text that was translated was just translated by some random dude.
Yeah.
Like one of the people who dumped the text was like, okay, random guy. Who do I know that knows Japanese?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh nope.
Nope. And so some of the text, and that person hadn't played Bloodborne.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, how much of this is just a different translation of text that's already in the game, or like,
yeah.
Some of that kind of like stuff had already been in there and it was just translated in different use, or like there was some text that was like Gaz or Gazam. There was like a different version of Mikolash's dialogue during his boss fight.
Okay.
But it was just like, yeah, this is basically what's already in the game. It's just a little bit different.
Okay. Whew! Yeah, you're at half. Yeah, there we go. Nope. There it is. No.
No, it's...
No. Because there's a specific sound clip in action, right?
How so?
I don't know.
And so anyway, there's a bunch of stuff. There's also stuff about... There's some really weird stuff in there, too. Like, there's the intro to Dark Souls in there.
What?
And there's all the text from the undead NPC. Oh, man. Like the undead merchant from the first area in Dark Souls, like, all of his text is in there.
Huh.
And there's also some stuff that's like, this is demo data for use for testing the engine, you know? And so there's just some, like, funny kind of in-dev stuff like that.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there is a cue. It's the doom.
Oh yeah, you mean in terms of like the sound cue for when you actually succeed?
Yes. Now he's getting angry. Oh. So there's a bunch of audio, like, there we go. Yes, good.
There we go.
Excellent.
That
Well
was
done.
okay.
Nicely done. Tempering Blood Gemstone. Wonderful. Excellent.
Yeah, so okay.
Go with the lamp.
Yeah. And so there's stuff like stuff about kind of the beginning of the game, the original. There's one that kind of, is that this way it came?
I think so.
It's hard to tell.
It really is. I'd assume that the one that the lamp's next to is the one that you want to go through.
Yeah. And so there's stuff at the beginning of the game. If you recall, at the beginning of this game, there's a little dialogue scene of like a character who is named the Blood Minister, who's like, you'll soon get some good yarn and blood in you. It all seemed like a bad dream.
Oh, the guy that's like ministering.
Yes.
To your
blood.
Yeah.
That guy.
Kind of hanging over you.
He had 10 different variations of the lines he says in the game recorded.
Huh.
And he also had, some extra dialogue that was just kind of like explaining
hold on for a moment. If you can
clock wipe.
I can do it.
Okay.
If you want.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
yes.
We're back.
Okay.
From a pause.
Yes. I killed the enemies in here.
And you killed all the enemies. Good.
Well, there were 2, so.
Writing down clock wipe, by the way.
Good. Okay, and so they had that guy had like a bunch of different text. There was. Okay, so the character Lawrence in this.
He's the guy you meet like early on in the game. He's like standing.
No, you're thinking of Alfred.
Oh, or is it Alfred? Yeah.
Alfred is like the guy who talk about Bergenworth.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Lawrence. Okay. Go.
Lawrence you first see in like the flashback when you kill Vicar Amelia.
Okay. Lawrence, the guy the dude in the chair. No. Yes.
No. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Lawrence. Whoa.
Holy Christ.
Lawrence is the founder of the Healing Church.
Okay.
And you first see him, or you first hear him talking in the flashback where he's talking about with Master Willem, who's all like, I'm leaving Bergenworth to found the Healing Church, and Master Willem is like, fear the old blood. And so there's this whole scene. Oh god.
Oh god.
Whoops.
That's death right there. Alright.
Rip.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you want to start playing?
Well, I think that was kind of the idea, was trade off, but no.
Right. And so anyway, in what is probably like an initial plot draft that there happened to be some remnants of left in the game.
Yeah.
There's this thing where okay, so first of all, the plot draft goes into a lot more detail about why you're there in Yharnam.
Oh, yeah?
It specifically is like, you are here, you came to Yharnam, like, with a friend a month ago.
Oh.
And you got treatment for some horrible blood disease you got, right? You got treatment in Yharnam as like a pilgrim going to Yharnam to get cured. And you got the treatment, you went into a coma, and then immediately after that, the hunt started.
Oh, great.
And then 2 weeks into that, the friend you came with, Lawrence, decided to leave to kind of go look for other people.
Okay, because he knew you were in a coma and there wasn't anything to do, or
basically he went looking for help, if I recall correctly. Okay. And then 2 weeks later, you wake up and you're in this kind of ruined clinic.
Yeah.
And then they cut all that.
Now, I can't remember. Is the hunt a common thing? Is it a thing that happens?
It's very unclear. Like, that's actually one of the really interesting things. Because, like, one of the other things that got cut was... so there's this password guy we've been to him so far in the game. Like, when you beat Vicar Amelia, you go down and you have to give the adage of Bergenworth to the password guy to let him get you go into the Forbidden Woods. Yeah. And you go in there, and he's like a skeleton.
Yeah,
it's like,
I remember this
he's
part.
A skeleton.
And it's kind of unclear whether or not that's actually the guy that you're talking to, or
right. It's kind of like okay, that's really weird.
Yeah, he's been dead for a while.
In the deleted game files, he has a lot more dialogue.
Huh.
In the initial game files, he's all like, yeah, it sounds like he would be, what we would call alive.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. Because he also has a bunch of text about he's like, it's best not to go into the Forbidden Woods, but I cannot actually forbid you from going because you said the adage of Bergenworth. He talks about... Huh?
Sorry, I was just going to talk about the design of those enemies, the scorpions.
Weird scorpion things.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm pretty sure that scorpion is designed based off of mostly a tailless whip scorpion.
Sure.
I think. It's got the really long claws.
Whoa.
It doesn't have the weird extra creepy face feeler things. But the shape of its body right up to the part where it actually has a tail seems to be in the shape of a tailless whip scorpion.
Sure. I mean, I could not identify a scorpion or a whipped scorpion versus a non-whipped scorpion.
Well, the fact is that it's tailless. It has no. It's a scorpion that has no tail.
That has tail though.
I know.
Okay.
It looks like a tailless whip scorpion that they took a normal scorpion's tail and added it to the end. I'll have to.
Okay.
I'll like.
You can superimpose some photographs of scorpions onto this video.
Yeah, it'll scare the shit out of some people. It scares the shit out of me. I'll say that.
Whoa.
I'll put that. Why didn't I just write scorpion? Damn it.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
And so that password guy has a lot of text.
Yes.
He, in addition to like the stuff I was talking about, where he's talking, where he's talking about like, we're talking about like don't actually go into the Forbidden Woods because it sucks there. He's also like, oh, you're the first person I've seen in 2 decades.
Okay.
He also has text.
Yeah. So this is a tailless whip scorpion.
I see.
And it looked like it has it had the abdomen the same, or it has the same. Is that the abdomen? No, what's that called?
Thorax.
No, the thorax is the middle.
It's
the abdomen.
Yeah, the abdomen is the bulbous part in the end.
Yeah, so it has the same thing, but it looks like it has a regular tail attached, regular scorpion tail, like tacked onto it.
Sure.
Which is kind of cool. They were like, oh, I like tailless whip scorpions. They're really creepy, but they're not. Like, I mean, they're scorpions, but they don't have tails, so let's put a tail on it.
Sure.
Anyway, sorry. This guy has a lot of text. Go on.
Yeah, so the guy has a lot of text, and so one of the things that he does is he has that dialogue that's like, yeah, this is the first person you're the first person I've seen going into the woods in 2 decades.
Oh.
And he also has text that goes, you're the first person I've seen going into the woods in 10 years. Or 50 years. Or 100 years.
Really?
Yeah. And so one of the things that I've noticed in the game is that of the stuff that they've cut out pretty explicitly every mention of how much time has passed or time is passing.
Oh.
So that... Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
yep, that's not good.
That's number 2.
So like in terms of things that have been cut out from the preliminary draft into the actual game, like time. They have removed all references to time aside from the night of the hunt. And I don't know if that's intentional or just kind of incidental or what.
It's probably it's probably intentional. I mean, I would.
It's really hard to say. I mean, because that's one of the other things is that like people are doing a lot of speculation about like what it means to have all this new hidden stuff. Like, is this canon? Can we fit this into the existing game lore?
Yeah. Does it necessarily actually mean anything, or did they cut it out because they
right? Or is it just like, yeah, like it turns out when you make a thing, you go through a bunch of different drafts. Like, yeah. Because like the thing is, I mentioned the friend with you, his name is Lawrence. Like, does that mean something? Is that a relation to, like, the Lawrence who founded the Healing Church? Yeah. But like, if there was mention of that, that's not in the deleted files. So maybe that was important, maybe that's not. The side room? Yes, we're in the side room.
Well, no, there was a side room back in this hallway. No, up the stairs. Up. Okay, no, yeah.
Oh, there's an alcove.
What? Why? Okay, there's one on both sides. All right, so that might just that's probably a room section design thing.
Yeah, or a place where enemies can jump at you.
Oh, that would be great. Anyway, sorry, you don't. Lawrence.
So the fact that Lawrence exists or doesn't exist. Like, that they share the name, it might be important, it might not be. It's really difficult to say. Like, did they take that character and decide to make him the kind of, instead of having him be your friend, instead he's the founder of the Healing Church? Like, it's very unclear what, if anything, that this kind of draft means.
Okay. Also, it looks less and less like a Taylor Swift. Well, you know, whatever. Sorry.
And so anyway, like, there's a bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah. The possible implications are...
Right. There's a lot of things that it could mean.
And it could mean nothing.
Right. I need to stop stepping right on top of them when they...
Explode? Speaking of exploding...
And so ultimately the deal is, like, you know, we have all these drafts, but like, it's kind of unclear what conclusions can be drawn from them.
Yeah.
Because the other thing, and the really big thing, is... Okay, so if you will note, like, okay, so we're in the Chalice dungeon, right?
Yeah.
And there's extra stuff in the Chalice dungeons, and, like,
yeah.
Many bosses in this game, like 40% of the bosses in this game are, like, special Chalice dungeon only ones.
Yeah.
And in addition to finding a bunch of other stuff, they found 2 unused bosses that might have been Chalice dungeon only, or might have been
actual game, like
game
story bosses.
Right. The first one was called, or like had the development name of Great Beast, or like what is it? Like Great One Beast, and it's like a big monster thing.
Yeah.
And that it's like a big beast monster, you know?
Yeah.
The second one is a second stage, different version of the final boss.
Oh, God.
So that's really interesting.
Okay.
And the thing is, what's actually really interesting about that one is, like, it's fully programmed into the game. Like, people kind of went and kind of figured out how it was, like, some people, like, basically kind of rearranged some game contents to make a fake Chalice dungeon that ended with that had the room that it was in.
Okay.
And it's like, it has a moveset, it has, like, HP, it has stats, it is a boss that you can go and fight.
Yeah.
It has some weird glitches, because it was, you know, abandoned halfway through, but, like, it's there. It's present in the game as a boss that you can fight.
Huh.
And that's really interesting. Because, like, that's, like, was this a second form of the final boss that you could...
Keep hitting it! Keep hitting it!
Whoa!
Second form of the final boss that you could actually fight or trigger?
Right, like, with this... Like, there are there are Chalice dungeon versions of various, bosses you fight in the normal game. Like, there's Rom, there's the Witches of Hemwick, there's various other bosses in the game that just show up as Chalice dungeons. There's Bryates, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And so... It's like, was this just intended as, like, a special bonus super boss, or was this, like, actually something really important in the game that just was never... That was just kind of like, yeah, this isn't really that important to finish.
Something that was intentionally, or, like, story significant. Right.
Because there are things that are of story significance in the dungeons, in the Chalice dungeons.
Okay. Is this a one-way door?
No.
Alright. Wait, I'm sorry. I just, like, totally glossed over that. Did you say there's stuff of story significance in the Chalice dungeons? Yes. Oh, okay.
Notably, I mean, I'm not gonna get into it exactly because I would like to kind of cover that in the LP.
Okay.
But there are some key items that you can only get in the Chalice dungeons, and there are some of the bosses that have story significance about where and when you fight them in the Chalice dungeons.
What do you mean?
I don't, even in this spoiler version, I don't want to get into it, but suffice to say, like...
You don't want to get into it because...
Because I kind of want it to be a surprise. Actually, you know, maybe you can just even spoilers for the spoiler things. But like, okay, so for the next, I don't know, minute, but Lawrence is a Chalice Dungeon boss.
Oh, okay.
Like, Lawrence's physical body is like a giant infested, like worm-infested monster.
Terrifying. Go on. Oh, sorry. Well,
I'm dead.
Or die.
Like, Lawrence's body shows up as Chalice Dungeon boss. Queen Yarnum shows up as a Chalice Dungeon boss, which is kind of a big deal, because you're like, oh, the city is named after her. That's Queen Yarnum, and the city is named after her.
I have a question also. Do you think we should run long on this episode?
We could have it be a two-parter. I don't know.
Because
you could have it be like a bonus thing intermixed with the other ones.
Yeah, it's kind of up to I don't know.
But and so the final thing really with the big Chalice Dungeon thing.
And we're still in spoiler mode, right?
We're not in super spoiler mode. Because, I mean, the super spoiler stuff is just like, you know, Lawrence is a Chalice Dungeon boss, Queen Yarnum is a Chalice Dungeon boss. Lawrence's boss name in Japanese was, like, the source of the beast blood.
Oh,
so it's like, oh, yeah, maybe that's kind of, important. And there's, like, there's a bunch of stuff like that, where it's just like, yeah, this stuff, you can get... They ring to propose to Queen Annalise in the Chalice Dungeon.
Huh. Interesting.
There's some stuff.
How very Fable-esque.
And so, dropping out of super spoiler mode now, it's kind of unclear if the second form Moon Presence boss was going to be something like that, or if we're just going to be like, yeah, there are flame witches in the Chalice Dungeons. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Also, stop dying.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid that.
It's okay. I realize that you're doing all of the talking.
Yeah.
So it makes a significant difference. And I don't know. Maybe I should take over for a little bit just to kind of get my bearings. I will immediately die.
Oh yeah, because you also have to refamiliarize yourself with this, huh?
Yeah, because I haven't played it in forever.
For 4 months or so.
Yeah. Which is, you know, significantly longer than our normal breaks.
Yes.
And, you know, that says its whole... And, like, I've been playing a bunch of other games. I mean, I've been playing Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4 and got all kinds of games. But not actually all kinds, just really, like, 3. But, so I've got those control sets in my head, and I'm sure we'll try to use those and die horribly. Anyway, so like we got past the super spoilers and the spoilers and covered all the spoilers that.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm guessing that there's something relating to these spoilers that you can actually find in the game, in the normal game.
Well, actually, the final thing here is that. So I said someone made like a fake Chalice dungeon, right?
Yeah.
They uploaded that onto the internet, and if you have online Bloodborne, you can put in a code and go there and actually fight it in-game now.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to get PlayStation Plus then.
Well, yeah, it would
be a while.
It would completely destroy us. Let's put it that way.
In our current state, or just whenever?
I mean, it apparently is like 3 times the health of the actual final boss.
Oh, Jesus.
And like 3 times the attack power.
Good Christ.
And it's definitely doable, in part because it has like a very simplistic pattern. So it's not like it doesn't have a bunch of really complicated moves.
Okay. But so is there, like, you said that you wanted to talk about some stuff when we're out of the spoiler episode.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. All right. They're trying to kill you!
Oh,
nope,
no!
You're dead again.
Lost all of my echoes there, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean...
I was hoping one of those many enemies would have them, but...
no.
It actually might have gone into, like, that one enemy that would burst out from the wall that I didn't kill that time.
Yeah, that might be it.
Whoops. Oh,
Anyway.
well, I mean, not like we actually really need them that much.
Yeah.
But.
Anyway, what were we...
I mean, basically, there's a lot of really interesting stuff in there. And that's you know, and kind of finally decoding that has kind of put new life into some of the community, just because, like, now there's all this extra stuff to kind of mess with and pour over.
Yeah, okay. I'm surprised that they... how they uploaded it.
I think the deal is that...
Because this game isn't on PC. This is a PS4 exclusive, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Then go ahead.
I believe the deal is you have... When you make a random Chalice dungeon, they're not, like, hashable. It's not like you get, like, a seed.
Okay.
But what you do get...
There it is.
Whoop. What you do get is, once you make a dungeon, it makes basically like a URL shortener kind of deal. You know, it just takes the generative parameters that Chalice dungeon kind of was created with, and it just assigns them a little short name in a server database somewhere, so that other people can go to it.
Okay, so it actually...
So someone just faked that. Someone just faked what that like network signal was. It seems like, and now it lives on like the.
It got uploaded to the servers.
Uploaded to the servers, and so there are like two or three ones you can go to that use like an unused dev like Chalice dungeon corridor with like there's a bath fountain messenger that sells like every item.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, and like at the end of a room full of like super difficult monsters.
So you can actually go to that one?
Yes, you can.
Wow.
You can actually just go to that one.
But you have to be online.
Yes, but you have to be online, and you can go to the thing that takes you to the big boss fight. And there might be one for the Great One Beast boss fight, but I haven't seen that.
Okay. Well, if we want to go to that room or whatever, like, we can. I can definitely... Well, I don't know about definitely. They probably figure it out.
Honestly, if you want to see that, you can look it up on other YouTube videos. Not to get people to navigate away from our amazing video. But the guy who posts all this on YouTube is what, Sandis something? But honestly, you'd probably just look up, like, Dark Souls...
Bloodborne?
Cut content, or yes, Bloodborne cut content.
Okay. Alright.
This room has like 80 million dudes in it.
Yeah, you know, divide and conquer. Oh, and a big guy.
Yeah, and the big guy.
Thank God he's too tall, right? He is too tall, right? Nope.
Nope.
Roll away.
Oh boy.
So you're not dead yet. That's good. Still alive.
Yes.
That guy cannot decide where to go.
Nice.
He cannot decide. That's probably the best way to...
Oh!
Drop down on him. Oh, well. Okay.
Oh god, the dog is coming too.
Yep. Well, now you're screwed. Why isn't there friendly fire? There should be friendly fire in this game. Oh. There we go. Well.
Nope.
Whoa! Okay. That's like... If this is like a bonus round, I'm wondering if these should even count.
Although I guess I've mostly gotten to the end of the interesting Bloodborne news portion.
Okay, should we...
But I would like at least to get through this dungeon.
This particular section?
Right, because this is like a side passage of the dungeon even. So it doesn't even have like a boss at the end, it just has like a treasure chest.
Okay.
So I'd like to get to that treasure chest.
Oh yeah, because you're making the way, so... Alright, fair enough. We'll do that. We'll run, because I mean, this is going to be one episode, and probably, I don't know if it's going to be a side episode or just like a, hey, we're doing it again.
Right.
But I think we'll do it as a side episode.
I mean, really, the distinction is if, like, if you say side episode in the title of the video, or not.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll upload it as, like, I can't remember how I did it. Oh, yeah, I'll just upload it as a side episode, and, like, because we did it for the what, Bloodstarved Beast, I think?
Oh, did we? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I cut out all the... Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back doing this.
Good old
I swear you forget
Bloodborne.
this guy every time.
Huh?
Or don't. Are you forgetting that guy, or...
No, I'm not. I didn't. He has never eaten me in the same fashion.
Since the first time?
Yeah, since the first time. It's just sometimes he has hit me.
Okay. And so, and you were telling me that where we just beat the Shadows of Yharnam, right?
Yes.
And I was kind of surprised how well we took care of that, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I died, if I was playing.
I mean, I guess we can check.
Yeah. Oh, this is a great game.
It's quite good.
Yeah. I also don't think I'm gonna... I think I'm just gonna... I don't know. Do you think I should do the kind of make little title cards for this too?
If you want to.
I mean, it's a lot harder because like it's really easy with it was really easy with Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4 because there are so many cutscenes, and basically it's really easy to make nice little title cards when there are cutscenes. In any episode where there wasn't, just kind of a pain in the ass because it's like, you know, there's basically only one shot, like one angle that you can do, and they're not all terribly interesting to watch or to look at.
Going across this bridge in the hopes that this room is not completely full of enemies.
Well, maybe not. So I haven't even been paying attention to the layout at all, so I don't know.
This is directly above the starting room, I think.
Oh, okay. And nowhere to go. At all. It looks
yeah,
like.
I guess just there to give a connection.
I guess so. Drop yourself into the scorpion pit. Was that the starting room? Did you actually start with... Do you think there are secret... There aren't. Didn't we talk about this? There aren't, like, actually...
There are no secret doors in Bloodborne proper.
Oh.
There are secret doors in Chalice dungeons.
Okay.
And I think there might actually be one in this area, or in this dungeon. I just don't remember. So
Is this one of the pre-created ones?
yes, this is like the second This is like the second pre-created one you can get.
Okay.
So let's try this again.
And is the first pre-created Chalice dungeon is actually kind of a required one, right? You actually have to go
No,
into...
like none of them are required in any way.
Okay. Yeah, probably a good idea. Definitely a good idea. Also a good idea.
Oh god.
So that ladder's causing problems for that dude.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a pretty good workout.
Sure.
I'm just thinking. I'm just spitballing here.
So let's see. How many enemies?
Too many?
Because, like, there's the big guy, but then there's also, like, yeah, a billion more dogs.
How come they're not aggroing now?
I mean, they will.
Because a lot of... Because in this game, just like in Dark Souls, a lot of things are, like, sound, like, they hear you, right?
Yes. Sound is actually a remarkably large component of the AI. Or presumably, because like in Dark Souls or in Demon Souls, that was a big deal. Like in Demon Souls, you had the ring that just made all of your moves quiet.
Yeah.
And then that would be like, oh yeah, it turns out lots of enemies just don't detect you. And again, like Dark Souls had like a Hush or whatever it was called.
Yep. That
was just like literally, we're going to, you know, make all of your footfall noises much quieter.
Yeah.
Woo!
Wow, I was like, whoa, oh.
Come on, come on.
Oh, still good. Oh, okay. Whew. That was a harrowing situation. Well, that's interesting.
Nice.
I like that. That's just silly. All it took was, you know, getting knocked off. Keep attacking! Okay.
Now, the real issue here is I'm down to... Come on.
One blood vial?
One blood vial.
And that's, like, for good. That's your entire store. Like, we need to...
Yes.
We might need to take a little bit of time to build it back up again.
I'm just amazed at how many monsters there are in this room.
Well, you know. I actually don't know where I was going with that.
I mean, because, like, that's actually one of the other things with the...
I would say, yeah, go in here and take care of all the monsters you can, including that guy on the ground. Okay, see, now, yeah, now you're doing a lot better.
As I recall, like, on my first playthrough of the game, I kind of got to one of the later game, Chalice dungeons.
There's another guy on the ground to the left, too.
God.
Whoa! Okay. Later game Chalice dungeons.
And there was just a room that was just like, yeah, we have, like, 50 billion really, really difficult enemies here. Good luck.
You'll need it!
Because the thing is, like, the random, like...
Oh, that's useful.
The random dungeons are not this enemy dense. This number of enemies are specifically put into the pre-made ones as kind of like a trap, basically.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, there are definitely places where it's like, the ones that are handmade... There we go, that's what we were going for.
Intertomb Chalice. Is that another pre-made one?
Yes. The root chalices are the random ones. The ones that do not have root on the name are pre-made.
Okay, but the kind of the pre-made ones, they all kind of link together. Is that, or are they all just or like half of them just like found in the world? Because you have to find the first one, right?
You have to find the first one. Like, basically the way it works usually is...
And do you want to jump back into the regular game now?
Probably.
Okay.
I might try to finish... Because that was the end of this kind of side path.
Yep.
Wait, no, this isn't the way I want to go. So there's the rest of this actual Chalice dungeon, because there's another boss and the end of the dungeon and whatever.
Okay.
But we don't necessarily have to do that now, because
yeah,
we have a lantern right here.
Okay.
But, like, various bosses unlock various new types of Chalice dungeons, and then generally within that Chalice dungeon, you'll get the further things for that type. So like,
okay,
so like we had like the we have the Thumeru Chalice, which we got from beating Blood-Starved Beast, and then from beating Thumeru Chalice, we got the Root Chalice and the Central Thumeru Chalice.
Okay, so Central is not a random. That's the one you're in.
Yeah, because it says, like, shared fixed dungeon.
Oh, okay.
And then shared fixed dungeon, whereas this is just random.
Okay.
And now we're going back out.
All right.
And that was the spoiler portion of this Let's Play.
Yeah, the extra special spoiler portion. Okay, so I'll put that down and do...
Yeah, I mean, if time is appropriate, I guess it's like an...
Yeah, we've got time.
Okay, I was just gonna say like this would be a good place to stop and start another episode, right?
Well, start another session.
We'll start another like cut the episode here.
Yeah.
So this is like a new part.
Yep, that's what I'm actually writing
Yeah,
down.
and all that dungeon crawling, not enough to get a level up.
Of course not.
But we can spend it on healing vials if we really want to.